everyone. Welcome to Wednesday Weekly Lunch and Learn live with Coach Sapphire Star, where we talk about how to create wealth through real estate investing for beginners. Again, I'm Sapphire Star with Organized Chaos, where we help our clients empower their money mindset, master their finances, and own their future through real estate investing. I would love for everyone, as you're coming in, as well as in the replay, to please type in the comment section in the chat where you are from and your name and why you want to begin investing in real estate. Today, we're going to talk about when is the best time to invest in real estate. If you have any questions, please put them in the comment section and I will, in the chat, and I will address the questions that you have. This is fully interactive. This is a safe space and opportunity for you to learn how to, make your money work for you and to grow your money so you can live your best financial life and achieve your financial dreams. And so when I began investing in real estate in 2022, I learned a lot. And there was this quote going around. I don't know who originated this quote, but it says, when is the best time to invest in real estate? And the answer is yesterday. That's the best time to invest in real estate. The second best time to invest in real estate is today. And I know a lot of people, especially if you don't have any experience in real estate, are reluctant to invest because of the climate that we are living in. Interest rates is high, inflation is going up, everything is expensive. And most people are like, gosh, is this a good time to begin real estate investing? And I 1000% wholeheartedly say yes. There's many ways to begin investing in real estate with little money. And so there are creative ways to get into deals to help circumvent high interest rates and high cost. Now, typically when you think about investing in real estate, there's traditional ways to invest in real estate where you go to the bank and you qualify, you get a mortgage. That's the traditional way of purchasing real estate. There's another way, there's a creative way of investing in real estate where you don't necessarily have to go to a bank. And I'm just going to highlight 3 of those creative ways to get in deals with little to no money. I always tell people, they were like, well, do you need money to begin investing in real estate? The answer is yes. However, does it have to be your money? The answer is no. There's a huge opportunity to use other people's money and to creatively structure deals to get into real estate investing with little to no money. So the 3 top creative financing ways I would like to share with you this afternoon is, number 1 is owner financing. Now, for these creative deal structuring to work and be effective, there must be motivation. When I mean motivation, I mean there's a need to sell and not a want to sell. And owner finance essentially means that the owner of the property, they own the property free and clear. There's no mortgage or anything on the property. And in this particular type of financing, the owner becomes the bank. So instead of you going out and getting a high interest mortgage to, acquire the property, the owner becomes the bank. So whatever terms and price that you and the owner agree to, and a down payment and a monthly payment that you make, you and the owner negotiate that deal. And this is something I learned early on in investing creatively, is your price, my terms. So if you can get favorable terms for a property, that is going to allow you to leverage to give the owner the price that they desire. For example, if they're asking for an asking price that may be a little over market, you may be able to say, okay, I can give you that if you can give me terms on this deal where I pay you, you agree to a down payment, you agree to what the monthly terms are going to be over a period of time. And usually you can balloon that payment out in 5, 10, 20, maybe even 30 years, amortize over 30 years. So your payment is if it was a 30-year loan, but you put a balloon in place, again, that you and the owner decide on. So that's one way of getting into the deal creatively without having to go to the bank, without having to, show check stubs and all those things. But it's very important in these deal structure that you understand how your numbers work. It's also important that you understand what's my exit strategy. How am I going to cover this down payment and this monthly payment that I'm going to be making to the seller? Obviously, you want to have an extra strategy in place that is going to cover what your monthly payment is to the owner. So that's kind of like a quick summation of what owner finance is. The second way is subject to. Now, this is a form of owner financing. However, in this particular scenario, there's a mortgage in place. Again, remember, there's a need to sell, not a want to sell. So usually in the subject to situation, you agree to take over the mortgage, you acquire ownership, the debt stays in the owner's name for whatever term you guys, not term, but whatever you agree upon. And I'm going to give you an example. That's easy if I give you an example. I acquired a property. It was a foreclosure property. I acquired it subject to. The owner was behind about $10,000, roughly, if I can remember, it's anywhere from $10,000 to $12,000 behind on their mortgage. And there was no equity in the deal. If there's equity in the deal, you can negotiate that either at closing or on the back end with the seller carry. So what we did was we offered the seller, because there was no equity, we offered the seller to stop the foreclosure by bringing the mortgage current. In exchange for stopping the foreclosure, we gave them money at closing to be able to move, and they can be able to move to the next chapter of their life. In that situation, the win-win is they don't have that foreclosure on their record. The particular owner was a veteran, so not losing the ability to use the VA loan again, and also being able to move on with their life. And we are paying the mortgage payment every month on time. So now we're rebuilding the owner's credit because we're paying the monthly on time. And you may be asking, well, how is it that you're able to own the property, but the mortgage is in someone else's name? And I always tell people, because a lot of times when we think about a mortgage and ownership, we think about is one and the same. And actually it's two separate things. Ownership and debt, two separate things. So we own the property, but we don't own the debt. And Pace Morby gives a great example of this is if you have a credit card and you go into the grocery store and you buy all these groceries with your credit card, at checkout, you get the groceries and the receipt. If you walked out that store and hand the receipt and groceries to someone else, they now own the groceries. They now can do whatever they want with the groceries. However, you still own the debt. You're still responsible for paying that monthly payment. And subject to can work in a way where, again, the seller is motivated. It doesn't have to be a foreclosure. It can be someone that maybe they got a new job and they have to relocate immediately and they don't want to have two mortgages. How great would it be if somebody could just come in and take over the mortgage payments and they now can move on to where they're moving on to. If there's a divorce situation, then they have to decide what they're going to do with the assets. A subject to is a great opportunity to be able to solve that problem. Remember, as a real estate investor, our core responsibility and job is to be problem solvers. And assessing what the situation is, assessing what our goals and outcomes is, but also focusing on what the seller wants, what the property needs, and your needs in that order. It's called SPY, S-P-Y. So focusing on the seller, focusing then on the property, and then focusing on what you want. this is how you're going to get the outcomes that you want. And this is how you're going to be successful as a real estate investor. The third way to get into a deal with very little money or having to get it financed is a master lease option. Now, in this particular scenario, you do not own the property. However, you control the property. You get to say, you get a master lease, whatever the terms are going to be in the agreement is, you get to dictate what happens with the property. So say for instance, you run your numbers, you do your due diligence, and you're like, this may not be the best deal in terms of buying it outright. However, if I can control the property, I can maybe rent it out, sublease it out. I can do midterm rentals because you have the first right of refusal with the master lease option. And that may cost you maybe as little as a lease fee or agreement to get into the deal. And you can also negotiate a lease option. And that means that you have the master lease, but you also are negotiating an option to buy the property at a later date. And these are two separate documents. So you have the master lease and you also have the option to buy after a certain amount of time. So those are three ways. And I know it's like, wait a minute, that's a lot of I'm really giving a brief summary on, different ways, but I really want to encourage and share with you that there are ways to negotiate and get into deals with very little money that can be lucrative. And I always stress this, the most important thing when you're beginning and starting in real estate is to focus on your education and to focus on networking and to focus on joining a community like the gym that we have here. If you haven't already joined, here's a plug. Please join the gym, our Facebook community, Creating Wealth Through Real Estate Investing. That's where all our Lunch and Learn lives replays will be. Also opportunities for us to have webinars and events where you can learn more, deep dive into learning more about real estate. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comment section or put it in the group and ask the questions. I'm more than happy to help. You can also send me an email at info@organize, ORGANIZE-KAOS.com and send any questions that you may have. If you're interested in getting more like one-on-one coaching, we do offer that at Organized Chaos as well. Whatever your needs are, whatever you desire, I am here to help. I'm extremely passionate about real estate and sharing the knowledge and experience that I have with others so we can all grow to a place where, working is optional and living is a priority.